Hey everybody, this is Eric here with Legacy of the Gun. I'm back at the Texas Gun Collectors Association, and I've got a really special one for you guys. I'm here with Mike. He's with the Smith Wesson Collectors Association, and I'm holding in my hands probably one of the coolest, most unique, definitely historically significant guns that I've seen in a long time. And I'm not going to steal the thunder, but Mike, what is it that I'm holding in my hands right now?
Okay, so you are holding a Smith & Wesson Model 1, and it's a first issue gun. So that was in the sort of original production batch from 1857 to 1860. It's a Model 1 first issue. It's actually a first variant, which means that for all the little engineering variations they did, that was the earliest. And to boot, it's serial number 5.
Serial number 5.
So it is actually the earliest known Smith & Wesson revolver in existence.
So that's what got me. I like low serial numbers, but there's a lot of different models out there. But the fact that this was Smith and this was Wesson making guns in the shop, right? And so this was the 5th gun they ever produced.
That was the 5th gun they ever produced.
And what were you telling me? This is the earliest cartridge?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's the earliest. So it's the earliest Smith & Wesson in existence, and then sort of by extension, it's the earliest metallic cartridge revolver in existence that we know of.
So there were obviously paper cartridges, and there were other companies that were producing handguns that were using metallic cartridges, but they weren't revolvers.
Correct.
So this is, to reiterate, this is the earliest known metallic cartridge revolver in existence.
Yeah.
And that's so historically significant.
It's phenomenal. I mean, every revolver in this room that takes a metallic cartridge, whether it's a Colt or a Smith & Wesson or whatever, that is its spiritual ancestor. That's where it started. Smith & Wesson, they didn't invent the metallic cartridge, and they certainly didn't invent the revolver, but what they did do was put the two together and say, hey, if we take the metallic cartridge and the revolver, this could work really well. And that was the gun that came out of it. That was one of the prototypes of it.
And you said that they even used this gun, some of the early guns like this, to work on making the tool room machinery.
Yeah. So the serial number 5 and I think it was serial number 6. Were the 2 guns that were shipped to the American Machine Works. This was a tool manufacturing company in Springfield, Massachusetts at the time. And our current sort of working theory on it is that these were actually tool room prototype guns that were shipped to the American Machine Works to get tooling made to go manufacture Model 1s with. So that, in that way, this is also kind of the ancestor of every Smith & Wesson that came after, because that was one of the prototypes that the tooling was based on.
That's just absolutely amazing provenance. That's just something you don't run across very often. And he doesn't even have this on display. He's just like, oh, well, I just brought it. I'm just, we'll bring it out now. And this is something that's so worthy of even the finest collections and research. And it's kind of a plain Jane gun.
Yeah.
But they had just started a company. They were making guns and to hold number 5. And so technically there were 4 others that predated this, but they're not known.
They're not.
They could be gone. They could be out there somewhere, but at this point in history, this is the earliest Smith & Wesson in existence. And I absolutely love the honor of getting to take a peek at this and do a video on this and hold this. And not to take away, it doesn't have the same provenance, but it is so much more beautiful. What is the other one that you've got here?
Yeah, so this is a Model 1 second issue. So the first issue guns, I think I mentioned there was about 11,000 of those made.
Sorry, when did these start?
Those started in 1857.
1857, okay.
The Smith & Wesson was founded in November of 1856. The company that we know today as Smith & Wesson was founded in November 1856. Of course, there was the Smith & Wesson before that did the volcanic. That's a whole different story, right. And obviously that wasn't a revolver. But this company started in November of 1856. That's actually the only Smith & Wesson that we know of that was produced in 1857. All the other known ones are 1858 or after. Okay. This actually dates to 1862, so it's a little bit later, and this is a second issue gun. So in 1860, Smith & Wesson built a purpose-built 3-story factory in Springfield just to make, at that point, just to make Model 1s. And this is one of the guns that came out of the factory, but this was really richly embellished. It's got beautiful engraving on it, including this snake and anchor, an arrow, mark on it, which I don't know what it means. It has kind of a nautical theme to it. It's also got fish carved on the back strap. So it's a really cool piece. I think it's one of the most beautifully engraved Model 1s that I've ever seen. Like I say, this is the second issue, so it came a little bit later, but it's obviously got the ivory grips on it and the engraving and the bluing on the barrel and the cylinder, and then of course the silver plating, sterling silver plating over the brass frame. So it's just a really, really nice example of some of the kind of high art that was created out of some of these guns.
It is. It's still in very high condition.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah, it's like I said, each one of these is beautiful. It has amazing value for different reasons, right? This one has the looks. Yeah, this one has just the unbeatable history.
Yeah, I mean the silver plating's completely gone off that one. There's traces of the bluing left, but I'll say kind of doesn't matter.
It doesn't. It doesn't
because of its historical importance.
Absolutely, yeah. It'd be like if you had a sword that belonged to George Washington. It doesn't matter if it was found in a riverbed. It still has that historical significance.
Exactly.
So this is absolutely wonderful. I want to thank you so much, not only for coming out to the show, but for letting me see these and letting us do a video on these. Legacy of the Gun. We are here to unearth these rare and unusual firearms you're just not going to see anywhere else. So check out our other videos. Make sure you're liking, make sure you're following and subscribing to our videos, because we've got a lot of other great content out there, just like, well, maybe not quite as significant as this, but very similar to a lot of this. So Mike, thank you so much. It was good seeing you, and we'll see you down the road.
Sounds great. Thank you so much.